mom really thought I'd stay quiet forever, but this time, I let her own voice do the talking. Growing up, family dinners at our house looked perfect from the outside. Big table, too much food, everyone laughing. But if you zoomed in on my seat, it was a totally different story. I was the punchline. Every single time, my mom would slide in some joke about me being too sensitive or overly dramatic. If I spoke up about something that actually hurt me, she'd roll her eyes and say in front of everyone, "Here we go again, she's making things up for attention." People would laugh, change the subject, pretend it was harmless. So I learned to shut up, stare at my plate, count the tiles on the floor, smile like it didn't sting. Because anytime I tried to defend myself, it just fed into her narrative that I was the problem. But last week, that changed. It was around 1 a.m. The house was dark, everyone asleep. I got up to grab some water and passed by her room. That's when I heard her talking on the phone with my aunt. I was about to keep walking until I heard my name. She said, "Yeah, I know I went too far. The fight was my fault. I twisted what she said." Then she laughed and added, "But come on, I'm not about to admit that in front of the whole family. I'm too old to be the bad guy now." I froze in the hallway. This woman had spent years telling everyone I was a liar, and here she was, casually admitting she'd been lying about me. My hands were literally shaking when I pulled out my phone, opened the voice memos app, and hit record. I caught everything. Her admitting she twisted my words, her saying she does it to protect her image, her calling me overly emotional like I was some character she created. When the call ended, I just stood there in the dark living room, listening back to the recording with my heart pounding. For the first time, I had proof that it wasn't all in my head. I could have confronted her right then, but honestly, I was done arguing in private and being humiliated in public, so I decided to flip the script. Fast forward to Sunday. Big family lunch at our place. The house is loud, kids are running around, TV is playing some random sports game in the background. Everyone's in a good mood. And right on cue, my mom starts. She tells this cute little story about how I blew something out of proportion last week, how she tries so hard, but I just love creating drama. People awkwardly laugh. They're used to this routine. This time, I don't shrink. I stand up and say, "Hey, can I show you guys something real quick?" I walk over to the TV, grab the remote, and switch the input to screen mirroring. My phone pops up on the screen. I open the voice memos app, scroll to last week, and hit play. At first, everyone assumes it's some funny video. There's a bit of chatter. But then the room starts to quiet down because they recognize the voice. It's my mom, on speaker, saying clear as day, "Yeah, it was my fault. I twisted what she said. I'm not going to admit that in front of them, though. I'm too old to be the bad guy now." No one is laughing now. My aunt's face drops. My dad just stares at the floor like if he doesn't move, he can disappear. My cousins are awkwardly looking at each other. You can actually hear my mom's recorded laugh echoing through the living room. I pause the recording right after she jokes about how easy it is to make me look dramatic. The silence after that, louder than any screaming match we've ever had. My mom's sitting there completely frozen. Her real, live voice is dead quiet, but her recorded voice is still hanging in the air between all of us. For once, she can't gaslight me. She can't say I misheard her. She can't say I twisted anything. She reaches out her hand and says, "Turn that off. That was a private conversation." I just look at her and say, "So were all the things you said about me, Mom, except you made sure everyone heard those." Nobody moves. Nobody jumps in to protect her. Not this time. I stand up, take a deep breath, and say, "You're right about one thing, Mom. I am done being dramatic." She looks almost relieved for a second. Then I finish, "I'm done explaining myself. I'm done arguing. From now on, I'm just gonna let the truth speak for me." And then I hit play again. I left the recording playing on the TV and quietly walked into the kitchen. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just let her own words do what mine never could. For the first time in my life, my mom didn't have a comeback. And honestly, that silence was the most honest conversation we've ever had.